Hello students, welcome to our online platform. Myself Engineer PP sir, your physics mentor. So in today's lecture we are going to start Newton's laws of motion. In previous lecture students we studied about what are three laws of Newton and we discussed pattern of questions based on momentum conservation. So let us start with impulse today. What is impulse? So see, impulse is multiplication of force and small time interval. See, so what is actually impulse? So if large amount of force is applied on any particle for a very smaller time period, then multiplication of that applied force and that smaller time period is known as impulse. It is represented by capital I. So if we say that applied force is F and time interval is del T, then I is equal to F into del T. In vector form, we say that I vector is equal to F vector cross del T. So this is the concept of impulse. Its SI unit is Newton into second. Its dimensional formula is Newton's m1 l1 t minus 2 and second multiplied by t1, so it is m1 l1 t minus 1. So it is clear from its dimension that dimension of impulse is equal to dimension of momentum. So momentum and impulse are two quantities which have same dimensions. Now see, if we talk about practical examples of impulse, so what are these practical examples? Let us say that while playing cricket, if a batsman hits a ball with a bat, then contact of bat and ball is for very small time interval, but force applied by the bat on the ball is of larger amplitude. So here impulse is caused due to that bat on that ball. So this is a pattern of example. Next example, you can say that whenever a player kicks a football, then force exerted by that player on the football is of large magnitude and it is applied for a smaller time period. So it is also an example of impulse. Now see, if we establish relation in impulse and momentum, then it is known as impulse momentum theorem. So according to impulse momentum theorem, now see from here this formula we can say that I is equal to F into del T. F can be written as del P upon del T. So I is equal to del P upon del T into del T. So time interval is cancel out and I becomes equal to del P, or you can say P2 minus P1. So from here it is clear from impulse momentum theorem that impulse is equal to change in momentum. Impulse is equal to change in momentum. This del P is known as change in momentum. So unit of impulse and momentum are similar and their dimensions are also similar. In another words, we can say that impulse is a vector quantity whose direction is in the direction of change of momentum. In the direction of change of momentum, you can represent it in vector form like this. I vector is equal to del P vector. So this is known as impulse momentum theorem. Let us see pattern of questions. So this example, we are considering that an object of mass 2 kg is initially at rest and after traveling a certain distance its velocity becomes 5 meter per second. It is traveling with constant acceleration, and time given is 2 seconds. So we have to calculate force applied on that body. Calculate force. So now we are given initial velocity, final velocity, and time interval in which final velocity becomes 5 meter per second. So we know that if we calculate force due to acceleration, is F is equal to ma. We are given mass of the body 2 kg, but acceleration is not given to us. But we are given in the question that initial velocity of object is 0, its final velocity is 5 meter per second, and it is traveling by uniform acceleration or constant acceleration. So we can calculate, we are given initial velocity, final velocity, time, and calculate acceleration. So using first equation of motion, we can calculate it acceleration of the particle. So A is equal to V minus U upon T. Final velocity is 5, initial is 0, time is 2. So acceleration is 2.5 meter per second square. 2.5 meter per second square. Now, if we know the value of acceleration, then using this relation we can calculate force due to acceleration. So it is 2 into 2.5. So finally we got the answer that force on this particle of mass 2 kg due to its acceleration is 5 Newton. Now next pattern of question which is asked on momentum conservation, based on momentum conservation. So one pattern of question we have discussed in previous lecture, recoiling of gun. Now let us see next pattern, which is a favorite topic of NEET and JEE. Many type of questions are asked from this. In ICR, you can also get a pattern of question. Let us say a ball of mass m hits a wall by making an angle with the vertical. Let us say this angle is theta. This particle or this ball is traveling by a velocity u, and after hitting the wall, it bounces back with the same angle and with the same velocity. So we have to calculate change in momentum. So what is change in momentum? So now see, I'm discussing all the patterns based on this question, that what type of question you may get in your competitive section. Let us say if this particle of mass m hits with the angle theta, then it also rebounds with the same angle theta. Now see, while using momentum conservation in such pattern of question, we use concept of direction. So we have to make its components. Let us say initial momentum is mu, and here final momentum is also m into u, mass into velocity, but it is in xy plane. So let us make its components. Now see, in first condition, this object of mass m hits the wall with velocity u, so its horizontal component is in plus x direction and its value becomes mu cos theta. So see, theta is given with vertical, so we will use here sin theta for horizontal component. So it is mu sin theta because angle is with vertical, and vertical component is in downward direction and it becomes mu cos theta. Similarly, component after rebounding again in x direction, now it is opposite. Initially it was traveling in plus x direction and now it is moving in minus x direction, so its component becomes mu sin theta in negative x direction. Similarly, its component in y direction becomes mu cos theta in minus x direction, minus y direction. Now see, change in momentum. So if we calculate change in momentum in x direction, so in x direction, let us say In plus x direction it is mu sin theta, and in minus x direction it is mu sin theta. So del px is final momentum minus initial momentum. So final momentum is in minus x direction, so it is minus 2 mu sin theta. Minus 2 mu sin theta is change in momentum in x direction, while in y direction change in momentum del py is equal to, see, final momentum is in minus y direction, so let us take it as minus mu cos theta minus initial momentum. So initial momentum is also in minus y direction, so minus minus becomes plus, and it is mu cos theta. So minus mu cos theta plus mu cos theta, it means there is no change in momentum in y direction. So in y direction, keep in mind, in y direction change in momentum will be 0, and in plus x direction or in x direction it is minus 2 mu sin theta. So if you simply calculate magnitude of change in momentum in x direction, del px, so del px is equal to 2 mu sin theta. This is the concept of momentum conservation in such pattern of question. Now see, if you are given angle with the horizontal, then in that situation this angle will be 90 minus theta. So simply let us say next pattern. In next pattern, let us consider that if object of mass m hits the wall by making an angle theta with the horizontal, then in this situation this angle becomes 90 minus theta, and now our change in momentum in x direction gets reversed. So we can say that its magnitude now becomes equal to 2 mu sin 90 minus theta. So sin 90 minus theta becomes cos theta. So we can say that change in momentum in x direction is 2 mu cos theta. 2 mu cos theta. So these are two pattern of question which are generally asked. Now see, let us say that a ball of mass 20 gram hits a ball by making an angle of 60 degree with the vertical, and it rebounds by the same angle, then what is change in momentum? So if you are asked change in momentum in y direction, then keep in mind that in y direction there is no change if they are moving like this, or if they are moving this way also, then also it is similar. So del py is equal to 0, but del px, so see, you are given angle with the vertical, so it will be 2 mu sin 45 sin 60, 2 mu sin 60. Value of sin 60, place to 20 gram, convert it into kg. Let us say that velocity is 5 meter per second. 5 meter per second. So it is 5, and value of sin 60 is root 3 by 2. So 2 is cancel out. 20 into 5, 100. 100 root 3, or you can say 0.1 into root 3. Root 3 is 1.73. So we can say that it is 0.173 kg meter per second. So these are some pattern of question which are asked on your momentum conservation. Now next pattern, let us discuss one more question based on impulse. So let us say that an object of 20 kg is initially at rest, and after traveling a distance of 100 meter, its velocity becomes 10 meter per second. If the particle travels with constant acceleration, then in 0.1 second, what is the impulse imparted if this object hits a wall with the स्पीड ऑफ 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड। सो सिंपल सा कॉन्सेप्ट क्या हो गया कि भाई इनिशियली रेस्ट पे था, 100 मीटर की डिस्टेंस पे एक वॉल थी जिससे ये हिट करता है कितनी वेलोसिटी से, 10 मीटर पर सेकंड की वेलोसिटी से, और यहां पर ये ट्रेवल कर रहा था कांस्टेंट एक्सीलरेशन से, कांस्टेंट एक्सीलरेशन a, and it hits the wall for a time period of 0.1 second. Then we have to calculate impulse imparted. So we know that I is equal to f into del t. This del t is 0.1 second, but we have to calculate force applied. So calculate force. F is equal to ma. A is not given to us. We know value of initial velocity, final velocity, displacement and acceleration. So using third equation of motion, using third equation of motion, third equation of motion, A is equal to V square minus U square upon 2S. So V square 100 minus 0 divided by 2S means 200. So acceleration is 0.5 meter per second square. Acceleration is 0.5 meter per second square. Now you can calculate force imparted in 0.1 second. So it is 0.5 into 0.1. This is acceleration, this is short time period, and G m is 20. So 20 into 0.5, this is 10, 10 into 0.1, 1. So force of 1 Newton is applied in this condition. So these are some patterns which are based on momentum conservation, impulse and force due to acceleration. Now let us talk about what is a force. We are going to discuss force and type of forces. कौन कौन से forces के type होते हैं. So force क्या हो गया बच्चों? Force is simply push or pull which causes or tends to cause change in position of a particle. Change in position of a particle. So concept is very clear that it is simply push or pull on a object or by an object which causes or which tends to cause change in position of the particle. So by applying this force or by applying this push or pull, there may be change in position of the particle or may not be. So such type of push or pull is known as force. Now see, here we are going to study different type of forces. So first type of force is contact force, and second type of force is non contact force. So contact force are like friction, or you can say frictional force, viscous force. These are some contact forces. Non contact forces like gravitational force, like electrostatic force, like magnetic force. So this is the general classification of force. Now see, if we talk about other different pattern of forces, then let us talk conservative and non-conservative. Conservative force. So what are conservative force? So conservative forces are simply those forces, work done by these forces is independent of the path traveled. Independent of the path traveled. Let us say that this is a place A and this is a place B. We have to take this object A to B, then this can be taken by this path A to B in a straight line, it can be taken by this arbitrary path. This can be taken by this arbitrary path. So let us say this is path 1, this is path 2, and this is path 3. So work done by these conservative force is independent of the path traveled. Work done by such forces, work done by such forces is independent of the path traveled, of the path traveled. So now see, we can say that work done by path 1, 2 and 3 is similar. So such type of forces are conservative forces. So for example, we can say that gravitational force, gravitational, electrostatic, magnetic force. Similarly, if we talk about non-conservative forces, then non-conservative forces are simply known as path dependent. So we can say that work done by these forces, work done by these forces depends on the path, depends on the path traveled. Clear? So now see, in other words, we simply can define that conservative forces are path independent and non-conservative forces are path dependent. So now in the first example, you can clearly see that when a particle from A to B travels by all these three ways, then in each and every path, work done is different. Work done is different because this non-conservative force depends on the path traveled. So we can say example of non-conservative force like frictional force, like you can say viscous force. So viscous force is also a pattern of frictional force, but it causes in fluids, it in solids, and viscous force in fluids. So these are pattern of forces. Now let us discuss one by one some other pattern of contact forces. Let us start with weight. Weight. So weight is represented by W. So whenever we talk about weight of a body, then it is defined as mass multiplied with gravitational acceleration. Mass multiplied with gravitational acceleration. So if I say that any object of mass m is placed on a plane, any object of mass m is placed on a plane, then its mass is pulled by towards the ground and its weight becomes mg towards the center of the earth. So direction, see, every force in the nature, every force in the nature except electromotive force, which is an potential difference, every force is a vector quantity and they have a certain particular direction. So here also there should be a direction of weight, and its direction is always towards the center of the earth, towards the center of the earth. So see, this is placed on a simple plane. Now if it is placed on an inclined plane, now see, it is placed here. This is object of mass m and it is placed on an inclined plane. Then in this situation also, its weight is always towards the center of the earth. So this is the representation of weight mg. So in both the cases it is clear, then weight mg is always towards the center of the earth. So this is a pattern of force weight. Its SI unit kg meter per second square, kg meter per second square, and another unit, another SI unit you know very well, which is common for all the forces, Newton. Newton. Now next pattern of force. So if we talk about next pattern of force, then let us talk about normal force. Normal force. Some standard books also represent this force as reaction force. So it is also known as reaction force. And in some sheets of different institute, you might have also seen it as normal reaction force. Combinedly, you can also see it as normal reaction force. So if we talk about nature of this pattern of force, let us say this is an object of mass m placed on a plane. So its weight is always towards the center of earth, and normal force is always perpendicular to the body. So if we talk about its direction, then always it is always normal means perpendicular to the surface of the object. So now see, in nature every force is balanced by another force. Every force in nature is always balanced by another force. So now see here, if we are talking about normal reaction force, that it is always perpendicular to the surface of object. So let us say this is placed this way, so its normal reaction force is always perpendicular this way. So if we talk about its balancing condition, then it is clear from diagram that this normal reaction force is always balanced by its weight. So it is simple thing that mg, like weight, always causes pushing or pulling. So let us say if we are sitting on ground, then there should be a force towards the earth. It means that force is balanced by another force. That's why we seems to be normally at any place, and that force which balances it is normal reaction force. So in balancing condition n becomes equal to mg. It means normal force is balanced by weight of the object. So this is another pattern of force. Now let us see, if this object is placed at any inclined plane. Let us say this is an inclined plane of angle theta, and this object is now at this place this way. So concept is very clear that it is always perpendicular to the surface of object. So now initially it was like this, now it is raised by an angle theta. So its normal will also be raised by an angle theta. So this is its normal, and it means if this angle is theta, then from here we can say that its normal is also inclined by an angle theta. It is also inclined by an angle theta. So its vertical component becomes n cos theta, and its horizontal component becomes n sin theta. So it should be very clear. If we talk about its weight, then its weight is always towards the center of the earth. So in this condition, this weight is not balanced by n, it is balanced by n cos theta. Mg downwards and vertical upwards is n cos theta this way. This is your object, its weight vertically downwards, and normal reaction for component of normal reaction force n cos theta vertically upwards. So in this way you can find normal force of any object. Now let us talk about tension. Third force is tension. It is represented by capital T. So tension is simply, it is also a pattern of force which is generally caused in strings. Generally in strings. Strings, or you can say rods. So generally we talk about strings here. Its direction is always away from the object, always away from the object. So let us discuss, or let us explain tension in detail with the help of examples. Let us say this is any rigid wall, and an object of mass m is suspended by a thread or a string. So this object of mass m is suspended by a string. So we have to find force. So see, net total forces on this object of mass m. So its mass m, weight mg in vertical downward direction. See, this is object m, so direction of tension is away from the object, away from the object. So here T is vertically upwards and weight mg is vertically downwards. So in balancing condition, we consider that T becomes equal to mg. T becomes equal to mg. Similarly, second point which you have to remember while calculating the questions based on tension is, if different objects are connected, different objects are connected by a single string, by a single string, then they experience, or we can say, then tension is same like this. Let us explain it with an example. Again, consider that this way, this is an object, or consider it in another way. Let us say this is a pulley, a string is like this way, and this is an object of mass m1, this is another object of mass m2. So these two objects are connected by a single string. This is the single string. So tension in the whole string due to these two different objects is similar. So let us say for this object of mass m1, tension is vertically upwards T, and for this also it is vertically upwards and its value is T. So in both the situations, it is clear from the diagram that tension is always away from the object. Tension is always away from the object. So this is another pattern. Now next pattern that you have to keep in mind, that if different strings are there, सिंगल स्ट्रिंग में सेम टेंशन, एक ही टेंशन होगा, एक स्ट्रिंग से चाहे कितने भी ऑब्जेक्ट कनेक्टेड हो, लेकिन अगर मल्टीपल स्ट्रिंग्स हैं तो हर एक स्ट्रिंग में इंडिविजुअली टेंशन होगा. सो वी कैन से दैट इन डिफरेंट स्ट्रिंग्स, in different strings, tension will be different. Tension will be different. So let us see this point also with an example. Let us say this is a pulley, this is a string, and this is an object of mass m. Similarly here, this is an object of mass m2, and here another object of mass m3 is connected. So see, m1 and m2 are connected by one string. So in this string, tension will be different. Now see, m2 and m3 are connected by a different string. So tension in this string will be different also. So let us give direction of tension. M1 object, keep in mind tension is always away from the object. So let us say the tension in this string is T1. So this is T1, direction is away from the object. Here also same string, so direction of tension is away, magnitude is same, T1. But in case of M2 and M3, so this string will also experience a different tension. So this will apply tension. So away from this, let us say this is T2, and away from this, let us say again it is T2, this way. So this is the pattern of finding tension in any object. Now see, how to draw free body diagram, free body diagram, free body diagram, which is known as FBD, free body diagram. So how to draw FBD? What are rules to draw FBD of any object? So first of all, what are rules? First rule is, first of all, identify all the forces on a body, on an individual body. Rather, you can say on an individual body. Individual body. Second point is represent them with direction. Represent them with direction. Third thing, in x direction, summation fx is equal to 0, and in y direction, summation fy is equal to 0. Condition is in case of balancing. In case of balancing. So this is the process of finding FBD. So let us discuss FBD by some examples. So first example, see, let us say we are given two objects of mass m1 and m2, and these two objects are connected by a string. These two objects are connected by a string, and a force F is applied on it. So it causes a net acceleration. It causes a net acceleration A in the direction of external force. So we have to calculate value of this force and tension in the string. So see, by drawing FBD, so we are having multiple bodies. So अभी हमने क्या बात करी? While drawing FBD, we consider individual bodies. So individual body पे जितने भी external force यहाँ पर act कर रहे हैं, represent them with direction. So let us represent them. FBD of M2. So this is M2. Net force is in X direction. Net force is in X direction. Let us say these are placed on a plane. This way. So this is the direction of force F. This is the direction of net acceleration. Here, let us see. They are connected by a string. So tension in this string for this M2 away from object. So this way. So this is the direction of tension. Let us say this is T. So here let us see, in case of balancing, net force in X direction. So see here net acceleration. So there is no balancing because there is acceleration. So in this situation, F minus T is equal to M2A. So why we subtract F minus T? Because force F is greater than tension. That's why it is accelerating. It is in the direction of force. Now see FBD of M1. So FBD of object of mass M1. So in case of this object, let us say its mass is M1. Now see how many forces are applied on this object of mass m1. So it is clear from our diagram that it is simply connected by a string. It is simply connected by a string. It means there is only tension. So what is the direction of this tension? So away from this object. So this way. This is the direction of this tension, and both are connected by same string. It means if this will accelerate by a acceleration, then mass m1 will also accelerate by the same acceleration. So keep in mind simply that if different bogies of a train are connected by same engine and first bogie of that engine is pulled by an acceleration a, then all the bogies connected by that engine will have the same value of acceleration. In the same way, if these two objects, three objects, 10 objects are connected by a string and they are applied an external force F, then all these objects will experience same acceleration. Rather, you can say that all these objects will move by the same acceleration. So here also it is clear that this acceleration is in the direction of tension. So from here we can say that T is equal to m1a. It means this acceleration causes a force m1a which is balanced by tension caused in this string. So now see, this is the value of tension T is equal to m1a. Here resultant force F minus T is equal to m2a. So if you have to calculate net acceleration, so you can find net acceleration by substituting value of this T from this relation, and it becomes equal to F is equal to a m1 plus m2, or you can say that acceleration is net force divided by net mass of the objects. So A is equal to F upon m1 plus m2. So this is a simple pattern of question based on your free body diagram and pattern of forces applied. Now see, if you have to calculate tension caused in the string, so tension caused in the string is tension in the string. So our relation was F minus T is equal to m2a and T is equal to m1a. Rather, you can place value of acceleration from any value and you can calculate tension from here. Another pattern, let us talk about another pattern. Now let us see, these different objects are in contact and an external force is applied. External force is applied. Let us say these objects are pulled by a force F at any angle theta. At any angle theta. Then in JEE, once a question was asked that what is contact force between, let us say this is A, this is B and C. So what is contact force between A and B? So you can be asked contact force between any two objects. You may ask an acceleration caused due to this external force F. So now see, while drawing free body diagram, let us talk about FBD of C. So concept is same, identify all the forces on individual bodies. So here are three bodies. So first of all, separate all the bodies. So we are considering all the bodies separately. Then all the forces acting on individual bodies. So let us say this is object C. Let us say their masses are MA, MB and MC. Force is applied by an angle theta. It is accelerating this way. So see, component in x direction, it is F cos theta. Component in y direction is F sin theta. It is F sin theta. Now see, acceleration is caused due to F cos theta. Another, this C, between B and C, there is a contact force. There is a contact force. Let us say it is a reaction force. So between B and C, let us say there is a contact force and consider it as R1. Consider it as R1, or rather you can say it as small f1. This is the force between B and C. Let us say it is small f1. Now in case of balancing in x direction, net acceleration in this direction, it means F cos theta is greater than f1. So we can say F cos theta minus f1 is equal to mass of C, mc into A. So this is the first equation which is found due to FBD of C. Let us draw FBD of B. So FBD of B. Now see, B is intact by A and C. this B is intact by A and C. So here reaction force will be between A and B and between B and C. So there will be two reaction force applied on this object B. So discuss this nature. Mass of this B is mB. So here this is reaction force F1 and here reaction force is F2. So there is no external force applied on object B, but it causes a net acceleration A. So in this situation, this net acceleration A is caused due to force difference applied on B. So here force difference is F1 minus F2 because net acceleration is in the direction of F1. So from here we can say that F1 minus F2 is equal to MA. So here mass of this B is MB. So it is equal to MBA. So this is the equation which is acquired by free body diagram of object B. Now FBD of A. FBD of A. So now come back to the question again. This was our question. This A is now intact with only body B. This object A is intact with body B. So it will cause only a reaction between A and B. And its mass mass MA will experience a force due to net acceleration A. So now see its acceleration A is caused like this way. This is object A. Its mass is MA. Now net force is single force F2, which is reaction force between A and B, and it is simply causing net acceleration. So in this situation, F2 is equal to MA into A. MA into A. So by this way, we can calculate net acceleration of the system, replace value of F2 from here. So it is equal to F1 is equal to MA plus MB into A. Place this value of F1 in your previous relation in this one. So it is F cos theta is equal to MA plus MB plus MC into A. So now net acceleration of the system is F cos theta upon MA plus MB plus MC. MA plus MB plus MC. So this is the pattern of question which may be asked based on your free body diagram. Now let us talk about next pattern of question. So our next pattern of question, let us say we are given, so this is our pulley, a string is like this way on this pulley. Two objects are connected, mass of m1 and m2 this way. Let us say that m2 is greater than m1. M2 is greater than M1. So if these two objects are connected by a single string and mass of 2 is greater than 1, that simply it is clear that it will accelerate in the direction of M2. It will accelerate in direction of M2. So now draw its FBD. So individually draw FBD. Let us say this is capital A, this is capital B. So FBD of A, identify net forces on A. So net forces are its weight mg, vertically downwards, tension in the string vertically upwards. See, both the objects of mass m1 and m2 are connected by a single string, so they will experience similar amount of tension. So here tension is capital T. Acceleration vertically downwards towards m2. So both are connected by a single string. It means if it is accelerating vertically downwards, then it will accelerate vertically upwards, and by the same amount of acceleration. So here acceleration is vertically upwards. It means tension is upwards, mg is downwards. So net force is causing acceleration in the string. It means T minus mg, T minus m1g is equal to m1a. So this is the FBD of A. And if we draw FBD of 2, so FBD of M2, so see, M2, in case of M2, net acceleration is downwards. Net acceleration is downwards. Its weight M2g vertically downwards. Tension again vertically upwards. Now see, in this condition, M2g is greater than tension. So we can say that M2g minus T is equal to M2a. Clear? So these two equations are obtained by using these two equations you can calculate acceleration and tension. So these are some pattern of questions based on our tension, reaction force, normal force. We will discuss more pattern of questions in our next lecture. So that's it for today. Thank you students for watching today's video. Let us meet in our next video.